Hello everyone, I wanted to try another round with Opal Wave Enchantress with a slightly changed list. Yeah, I'll show it in a... I guess Opalescence is... We're kind of close to the combo. Anyway, I wanted to show the change here. Like, I decided to put 4 Leyline of the Void in the sideboard, like together with the Helm of Obedience that was already there. Just to have, yeah, better graveyard hate, and also it's the ley lines are very nice with the Opalescence. And yeah, that meant I had to cut a Sphere of Resistance and like an Eidolon of Rhetoric and so we might be a bit weaker against Storm, but maybe the Leyline Helm will save us some games against Storm anyway. Opponent... Opponent is on the place. I think I'm going to keep this. It might be too slow, but also turn 2 Opalescence, and if we draw anything else, it's also going to be a turn... Ooh, that's Dredge. So yeah, the ley lines are going to be quite okay here, although they will probably board in Nature's Claims and similar things. We can flashback the Faithless Looting, but they're not going for it yet. That's interesting. So the question is, do we think we have a chance here? If we don't have a chance, we might not show them what deck we're on. We have turn 2 Opalescence, but that doesn't do anything yet. Well, they don't have... They don't have Bridge from Below yet, so if they would have had a bridge, I might have needed to concede, but oh yeah, actually they're probably just gonna kill us here, right? No bridge yet, that's good. They could still flashback Faithless Looting as well, so... Yeah, they have a bridge, so they can flashback this therapy. Let's see, they have 1 therapy, and if they have a second therapy, they could just take all our Opalescences, but... Let's see, therapy number 1. Maybe I'm blind, but I don't see a second one. So I'm gonna let it resolve. If they do have a second one that I'm not seeing, then yeah, we probably have to concede because they can take my whole hand. Like we could still draw what's it called, the Parallax Wave, and just exile all their stuff, for example. We have some outs. Although we are probably kind of dead here. See, we take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We take 13 only. So that means we could still draw, we could still top deck the Parallax Wave for the win. Against, let's see, against Orim. 67. Ooh, wait, we did draw the parallax wave. That's insane. Let's see, we have all the mana. We already do. I'm gonna leave Caracas up. I'm gonna kill their stuff now. Just so they know what's going on, and they might already concede if they understand they can't beat this. I mean, I think they shouldn't be able to beat this. That was like the one top deck we needed. Yeah, I'm not using all the counters here because the screen thing makes it very hard to click all their stuff. If they're returning these, I should not let them. I should not give them any priority in their main phase to do anything with them. To like flash them back for more zombies or dread returns. Okay, I don't think the chance of winning this was very likely, but turns out it was just good enough. I might even bring in Seal of Primordium. Sometimes they bring in like what's it called, Abeyance. I'm gonna double check if that's the correct name. Nope, not that one. It's like a white enchantment that destroys everything. Serenity. Oh yeah, Serenity. Like at the beginning of their next upkeep, after they play this, it destroys all artifacts and enchantments. So with the seal, we get one turn to deal with it. For example, I don't think cast outs or oblivion rings are great. At least cast out cycle. I also don't think Crewfix Insight might mill us our Helm of Obedience, so maybe Enchantress Presence is a better engine here. Dooming Giant kills some of their stuff, so maybe it's okay. Like Engineered Plague, like you could put it on Horror against Icorites, but they still get to make zombies, so I don't think that's the greatest card. Cast Out could also deal with the Serenity thing, but not entirely sure on that either. This also puts stuff in the graveyard, so maybe that's a bit risky with Helm of Obedience. Definitely want to keep in the Replenish. Maybe you can cut a Caracas. Though we will need land to cast our Helm of Obedience as quickly as possible. Yeah, maybe the Starfield is like just a bit overkill. I guess I'll cut the Seal of Primordium and just hope they don't have the Serenity thing. Okay, this has double ley line. Gotta keep this. And then hope not to die to Serenity. It starts with cycling Street Wraith. If this cast out had been a Seal of Primordium, we could actually have been able to beat the turn 2 Serenity. And if they have it now, we won't, unless we draw Serra Sanctum. Okay, let's see, Sylvan Library, very good. Could find us Serra Sanctum into Helm of Obedience, for example. And probably not I'm not sure. I might need this to kill their Serenity if they play it, but since they don't play it this turn, I might just want to cycle it and get one card closer to my Helm of Obedience. Okay, already drew the Serra Sanctum, that's good. So we can play just Enchantress Presence here, I think. But I still want to have the Serra Sanctum in hand. Just in case, like, Sylvan Library misses on the land next turn. And if the natures claim this now, we can replenish. So that was a good reason, that was like the main reason not to cut the replenishes. It makes it almost impossible for them to deal with ley lines in the long term. See, what do we want? Probably just play Doomwake Giant and shuffle these two. Definitely don't need the second library. I mean, I could play the Wild Growth, then draw the fetch land and then fetch. I suppose that doesn't cost me anything. And it puts one less, like, we'll have one less card in our deck now. So we're, like, very small chance higher to hit with Sylvan Library next turn. Let's see, 5 mana. Okay, I have two lines here. I could take both of these, then shuffle away the Sylvan Library. I think I'm just gonna play Enchantress Presence, draw the Sylvan Library, then play Sylvan Library, and I draw Windswept Heat and the next card. And I'm actually gonna pay with a bunch of white here. I have enough mana for anything I want. And I might be short on green mana if I keep drawing action. Opponent concedes. We would have drawn, let's see, 2 more cards. Okay, we wouldn't have hit Helm yet. But obviously our opponent just, couldn't beat this hand. I I can't blame them for conceding yet here. That's I'm just gonna check some dredge list while we wait. Let's see what kind of sideboard cards they play. Oh, never mind, Postman is there. I'll be back in a few minutes. Right. Sorry for the long wait. I'm sure that took like 10 minutes or so. I hope you just clicked through it. Yeah, maybe if I have another interruption I should just put on a match replay or so. Playing as Alpha Blade. And this is a keep as a turn 2 simple library. Through a days. I guess that's all we can hope for. I think Flooded Strand is one of the cheapest blue fetch lands, so this doesn't mean that he plays basic planes or so, or like a white deck. Yeah, like Grixis Delver and all these decks that only play islands. They often have Flooded Strand as their main white fetch land. Because of the cost. Like, I think Blue to Delta, Scalding Tarn and Misty Rainforest are a lot more expensive. They're both in paper and online. I think that's the cheapest. And the ugliest, probably, in my opinion. Especially the reprint. So I'm probably also playing out the Wild Growth here, right? So I have more chance of hitting Doomwake Giant the turn after. Or can I play the Doomwake this turn? No, see, I play Serra's Sanctum, I growth my Sanctum. One floating and Sanctum taps for 3, but I don't play around the day, so I think I have to play it safe here. So I'll probably also play around Wasteland by not playing out my Sanctum yet. I could have played out Battle though, just so they couldn't double daze me, but I think that's not a big mistake. And playing out Wild Growths early here is not as bad as in regular Enchantress, because we only play 4 Enchantress presents. So we're less... Our deck is less based on the... on like drawing cards of playing all your Wild Growths after you draw an Enchantress presence. So I think here ramping the mana is more important in this deck. It's strange that he did tap the Underground Sea. This could mean that he's not playing Cable Therapy in the main deck. Because otherwise he should probably brainstorm with the red source and be able to take like Doomwake Giant and replenish next turn. Of course, yeah, he has a fetch land, so maybe he just knew that he was gonna fetch an Underground Sea anyway. Gonna probe me, sure. As long as I'm not getting double therapied, I'm fine with it. Museum Library could find me another replenish if he takes both these cards, but we still need to beat a counterspell. He's not afraid of Doomwake Giant, because otherwise he wouldn't play out his Delver here. See, put on top. Put on top. I probably want to fetch these away, and I can only play around a single days, but I think that's totally worth it. Though that would mean I could get stifled here. It's more likely he has a force, like he already brainstormed twice now and probed twice, so he has had a lot of extra draws. He's probably, I'm assuming he already has the force, I mean he should. And then now he's just brainstorming to find another blue card to throw away. He does not, okay, wow. Playing out the Delver was really stupid if he didn't have a force. Let's see, Grixis. Have we not played against Grixis with this deck? Strange. We'll have to make a new... It just plays out the young Paramancer. That's very bold. Basically any enchantment we draw kills this. So let's see, put back that. I kind of want to shuffle here. Do I? I guess I'm not under any real pressure, so I'm just gonna fetch a Savannah here, preserve my Lotus Petal for now. And we attack for 1 more damage with Doomwake Giant because it's now a 5-5 instead of the 4-6. But he could bolt my Sylvan Library, and that's another reason to draw the extra card. Because we might not get out of our Sylvan Library lock if he kills this. Because then we would be forced to draw 2 bad cards. The opponent must be drawing poorly because they didn't even have a bolt for my library. Okay, now they do probably. They're tapping red, so... Oh. Again, they're really risking everything on me not having an enchantment to play. And they are kind of right. So... definitely don't need a second Sanctum. How aggressive is it to... Like, they could just block the Doomwake Giant and deal 5 to me next turn and bolt me, deal 8. So paying life here is quite risky. I don't think I can afford that. Oh, no, please block. If he blocks, I can replenish and kill the Delver with a trigger. But unfortunately, opponent doesn't go for it. So I take 5, I go down to 6. He could double bolt me if he's lucky. But by not paying life in Silver Library, at least we're playing around the single bolt, and I think single bolt is a lot more likely. Don't know why he didn't attack with the Pyromancer. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Okay, let's see, put that on top, and just hope we hit with the Crewfix Insight. I mean, it digs 6 cards deep, so we should... If this resolves, we should get something here, right? Did not force. Which days? So... See, if I attack here and he blocks with an elemental token, that's bad. But I can block the Gurmak Angler. I take 1, 2, I take 5, 6, 7. See, I think I attack with the Sylvan Library and try to replenish it here. If they kill it. See, if they don't block, they go down to 1. Which means if I find anything to trigger the Doomwake Giant, they lose, because then they can only block one thing. Okay, again, opponent is playing around to replenish, that's smart of them. So I block the Gurmak Angler. I take... I take 6, I go down to 2. I died to bolt, but... Actually, I probably still die, right? Unless I draw another Opalescence. Let's see, put on top. Put on top. Do I replenish before Crewfix Inciting? I think I do, because then I also get to kill the Delver if I find something here. Tap this, probably. Actually, I think I don't know. Actually, yeah, I probably need to tap this here to preserve green mana. Ooh, Parallax Wave. We can cast it. So we should win here. Enchantress presence. Do we need it? Fertile Ground, probably. Okay, opponent concedes. Phew, that's was very close in the end. We'll want... I don't think we need to change anything here. Maybe Oblivion Rings are not really special in this matchup, but I could still bring in stuff like Pithing Needle on my Parallax Wave, and it's a fine way to deal even with Gurmak Angler if it's necessary. His hand does nothing. Like, it doesn't have a second mana for casting any spell, so it's an easy mulligan. And I guess on the draw we can keep this, and we play turn 3 Crewfix Insights. It's probably way too slow to do anything, but we just have to hope for them not to have a too quick hand. Like Delver not flipping helps us a lot. Okay, we are one card closer to our combo. And they did not daze us, that's also very good. So next turn, if they don't waste on this, I wanna play Caracas and float the green mana to play Crewfix Insight, because we have a lot of green spells that are alive. Yeah, but if they wasteland us, obviously we can't float any mana. His Delver's not flipping. If we ever win this game, it's gonna be because of their Delver's not flipping. See, add some blue mana, just to be cool. Could also play out Sylvan Library here, but I don't think I wanted that. I think I wanted the digging deeper first. Because now we're already having more cards in our hand, and Sylvan Library would wait a turn. Ooh, they still don't flip. Opponent very, very unlucky. Actually, I also want land drops. Maybe I should have played Sylvan Library to guarantee a fourth land drop. Oh yeah, he's seen the cards that I reveal, so now he can therapy them away. That's also the risk of playing Crewfix Insight against the deck that plays therapy. He names Enchantress Presence. That's risky. Like these are the revealed cards, right? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, so he should know. Oh yeah, he only knows about the sprawls. Probably he doesn't. He just doesn't care about the sprawls. Okay, a land is a very good start. Gonna make double green here, play out my sprawls first. Put one of them on white, because we're gonna need double white here. Put one of them on white. How are we afraid of daze is the question, because if I play Parallax Wave here and it resolves, we basically win the game. But if it dazes this and then therapies away my replenish, I'm gonna be sad. But maybe this was slightly risky around daze or counterspell, but I felt like yeah, we needed to be. He reveals a stifle. I definitely wanna exile his Delvers here. Don't want to take 6 damage at this point. I mean, he'll get back his creatures, and then we can replenish. Like in 3 turns, we have to sacrifice this. Then we can just replenish it back. Oh yeah, he shuffles away his stifle here with his fetch land. because yeah, it doesn't do anything. I think I start with Groovix Insight. It gives me a few more options on what a civil library. Like maybe I draw something that I want to play even more than the civil library. I think I take all of these. Opponent concedes. Alright. Probably can't beat the second Parallax Wave. So 2-0-4-0. Still living the 5-0-10-0 dream, but we could go undefeated here. Very unlikely, but yeah, deck's very strong, like I've said in my previous videos. And I haven't really gone over the deck list here. And yeah, maybe people who are watching this video as the first one in this series don't really know what's going on. So I would advise watching like the first one or two, because I explain a lot more there, if I remember correctly. So I'll just bring up the deck list again. It's not traditional Enchantress, like it's not playing the creature Argothian Enchantress. It only has like 4 Enchantress presence as an unimportant part of the engine. Like it's more important to have your Sylvan Library or Crewfix inside, and then you dig for the cards Opalescence and Parallax Wave. Because Opalescence turns most of this stuff into big creatures that a lot of Legacy can't deal with, because they don't die. Most of them don't die to bolts or abrupt decay and such. And Parallax Wave becomes a 4/4 creature as well, so you can use the first 4 counters to exile their stuff, keep priority, and then because it's a creature you can also exile itself. Then it will leave the battlefield, it will return itself because it's the only creature that's already exiled. And then the 4 other activations will still be on the stack, and they will be exiled after you flickered your Parallax Wave. And then they will not come back because the leave the battlefield trigger already happened. Might go over it a bit more slowly, like the next time I get to do this. But it's basically like the same thing. People know Oblivion Ring. Like if you destroy your Oblivion Ring or blink it in response to targeting your opponent's permanent, it will be exiled forever, and Oblivion Ring will come back if it's being flickered, and you will be able to exile something else. And that's basically the same trick as with Parallax Wave. And it also makes your creatures very immune to removal spells. Because if they ever source to Plowshares, your Sylvan Library, then you can just exile it to the Parallax Wave and then let it return. Yeah, this hand is too slow. Last time this guy was playing a lot of lands. And against lands, this doesn't do a whole lot. Like if this still doesn't do a whole lot, but we get to scry and potentially play turn 2 Sylvan Library if we hit a land. Like we're on the draw, so we have 2 more draws. Yeah, we had a scry and 2 draws to find a land for the Sylvan Library. Gotta take some risky lines with the deck sometimes. Because we basically need to ramp into, oh, maybe it's aggro alone, or maybe it's lands playing black. Yeah, we basically need to ramp into a Parallax Wave as quickly as possible, so we can deal with their Merit Lage. Ooh, we found the land just in time. He's gonna, I don't know, copy my forest probably. Yeah. That will give him more green mana for whatever he has in hand. I thought he was gonna copy his wasteland, but because I have two basics, that probably doesn't make any sense. Opponent seems to have kept a very slow hand. So I wanna fetch a basic here. I don't wanna pay extra life yet, I think. I don't think it's necessary. They could have kept the... Maybe I should have kept the Serra Sanctum. I feel playing Krufix Insight is the best here. It could mean he could loam back Bojuka Bog, but like I have Replenish in hand, so I could find Parallax Wave or just put a bunch of stuff into the graveyard for my Replenish. Because if his lands paying 4 extra life actually doesn't matter, because they kill you with a 20/20. And we already milled 2 of our 4 Serra Sanctums now. Yeah, I should have paid to keep the Serra Sanctum. That was a mistake. Because now we might draw a Parallax Wave and not have a second white source. Oh, crop rotation. Oh yeah, we're dead anyway. Nothing we could have done. To be fair, it's their turn 4, and they shouldn't have kept this hand. Shouldn't have kept this hand if they had nothing going on. So it was reasonable to expect they had something. So we want not really Sanctity, probably Leyline and Helm. They do sometimes run hateful artifacts, so that those might be an option. Like Leyline of Sanctity stops their Punishing Fire or Molten Vortex backup plans. But those are not really so great. Doomwake, it deals with Tireless Tracker, but we don't really care about Tireless Tracker with this style of deck. I can probably cut these two as well, because the Oblivion Rings do the same, and they are more flexible. And cut some more of the... Actually no, we're on Helm of Obedience, so I'm gonna cut some of the more risky cards here. Because these... they might mill your Helm of Obedience into the graveyard. And I think the Helm kill is very likely here. Shall I play first? Yes. Double Leyline of the Void and turn 2 Civil Library. Yes. I could get Ghost Quartered, which would be annoying. Could even draw Serra Sanctum and play double Civil Library or play Parallax Wave already. Molten Vortex, okay. Don't really care about this card, because it's really good with Life from the Loam, because they can get back their lands and keep discarding them, but with Leyline of the Void, they can only use each land in their hand once, and then it's gone forever, so... They're only going to be able to deal like maybe 8 damage with this if they have 4 lands. Let's see, lands. We already played against it. We did not. Sylvan Library as well. Okay. Against Cat. Although the Sylvan Library could give... Ooh, we already found the Helm of Obedience. But we also need the land. We might also need the Wild Growth to make sure we hit the mana for it. So I think we just pay a lot of life here. I don't think there is a way for them to punish us here. Just need to play out as much mana as possible. And we need to top deck exactly 1 mana and we kill them. And because we have 2 Leyline of the Voids, they can't even cross and grip one of them in response to the activation. Cross and grip my Enchantress presence, sure. I guess I'll go for the extra mana here. And kill them. Let's see what they brought in. Tireless Trackers. Drop of Honey. Oh yeah, they think... Drop of Honey. They probably think we have Argothian Enchantresses. Although it's still okay against my opalescent creatures. Gamble. How many crop rotation? No, how many cross and grips? 1. They played 1, that's 2. Maybe they have 1 left in their hand, right? But they play at least 2 cross and grips. 3. Oh, that's a lot. Probably they have like a 4th one in their hand. So the question is, do I want to bring in Leyline of Sanctity? I probably don't. This hand, it kills the Sylvan Library and it cycles, or it... And it has Replenish. Do I mulligan this? I think I mulligan this. And this does even less, though. I think I keep, and I try to scry to a land for my turn 2 Sylvan Library. Okay, that's very unfortunate. It's a land that makes 0 mana. So we need to find another land that's not Serra Sanctum. The opponent asks how the deck is. So, we play a Sylvan Library of our own. They already have a Wasteland. So I might just fetch a basic forest here. Don't want them to Wasteland me and then like start doing their stuff. Like if we find a Wild Growth, we can tap the Serra Sanctum for 2 mana next turn anyway. And then play out our Parallax Wave. Yeah, you probably can't see it on the screen due to my window here, but I'm just talking to my opponent. He's asking me how the deck is doing in the current meta. Like, yeah, I've played against him a lot before, not recently, but I used to play a lot against him before, and he's a very friendly guy. I think he's Japanese or Korean, like I think he's Asian because because of his name, but like it's reverse for Taki, and I think Taki is like a Japanese nickname for some longer name. But anyway, like he once conceded to me, even though I was gonna win on time, even though I was gonna lose on time, but he conceded because he thought I deserved to win. So I did the same to him once. Source of Spyglass. Ooh, okay, he's gonna take the Parallax Wave, I guess. That kind of sucks. Probably the Seal of Primordium hand would have been able to beat such a slow start, but... Oh yeah, we can play the Parallax Wave and cast out his Sorcerous Spyglass in 2 turns. And he's gonna need 2 turns to attack with the Dark Depths anyway. Name's Parallax Wave. We found Utopia Sprawl. So that means we can cast a 4 mana spell here. Oh, we found Wild Growth as well. So I think we put Utopia Sprawl on white. Maybe we play both of these out, right? Like I put back 1. I think I'm just ramping here as much as possible. He's gonna be able to waste my Serra Sanctum, but I think that could be worth it. I play this on white, just so I only need to draw a single white source anymore. Or I can just play the cast out next turn. I'm gonna have 4 mana here. I think I still play out the Parallax Wave, so I can cast out next turn. And I can still attack. If he doesn't do anything, I can still Opalescence and start beating down. Oh, he kept 2, so that means I can attack for 6. Oh, Ghost Quarter. We're gonna get very wasted here. So I need to get a Plains. That was also one of the reasons to play out both of the Sprawls. So I would keep at least 1 land with the Sprawl on it. Okay, so he's gonna go for waste loaming me out. That's like it goes quartering me every turn. Will be nasty. But because he paid some life there, we'll discard their wasteland. He also has low Molten Vortex, so actually, yeah, we don't have double. We don't have a double black here, so I'm gonna put that one back. Might want double cast out at some point. Do I, or do I just shuffle it away? See, he could Ghost Quarter me next turn. So I can attack, but he can block my Sylvan Library with He's, and then he could untap and use Molten Vortex also to kill stuff. I definitely need the Windswept Heath, but do I need a second Cast Out? Cast Out actually also becomes a creature, so I think I'm gonna be aggressive there. This is gonna be the last time I can fetch a double white, and then he's gonna be able to cut me off a double white. So I need to start with Opalescence. Let's see. Whether or not he blocks, he can kill my Sylvan Library anyway, right? But if he doesn't block, he can attack for 3 and then deal 6 damage if he has a red source and some lands. I think I still attack here. He should only be able to get me down to 1. Ideally speaking. So if he Ghost Quarters me here, I need to find exactly Serra's Sanctum to be able to cast out his Sorcerous Spyglass. So let's just hope he doesn't kill my Sylvan. At least I can cycle these and hope to find more land if necessary. Actually, no, if he Ghost Quarters this land, I get an extra forest, and I only need to find fetch land or a regular land, like anything that makes a single mana to cast a cast out. Yeah, I forgot I get to fetch an extra land there. Unless he has exploration and gets to like waste Ghost Quarter me. Fortunately, if I play this cast out to exile his Sorcerous Spyglass, and I want to exile all his stuff with Parallax Wave, it can't attack next turn, so I can't kill him if he keeps blockers. It's gonna be very tight, and he could easily have something like a Crozen Grip or anything anything we can't beat. We could also just win. Or he could just play Dark Depths here and try to go for it. Oh yeah, he could. He can just Molten Vortexes out. Oh yeah, I should have kept the Sylvan Library as a blocker. I forgot he could Mox Diamond and make more red mana. Oh no, he used one to play Life from the Loam. Okay. So he needs to play a red source and another Mox Diamond to kill us. So he's gonna kill my Sylvan probably, or he could double kill a Parallax Wave. Oh yeah, he's gonna kill the Parallax Wave. So if he attacks here, I could actually draw a land. I could draw a land and another... Oh, I need a white land, yeah. I could have drawn another land, another white source like Serra Sanctum into Opalescence and kill him here, which we did not, unfortunately. So I'm gonna put that one back. I'm gonna put the Opalescence back, probably. And here I need to exile, I need to cast out a Molten Vortex. Well, he stepped out. Do I attack here? He can only attack me for 2 next turn. I think I attack and try to have him dead on board if I find another white source, for example. He could also just go squander my planes and leave me, but then I get to shuffle and I have another chance at Serra Sanctum. So it's definitely going to be very tight. Oh yeah, that's another reason. I should have attacked, because now he can't draw extra cards with Sylvan Library, and otherwise he could have drawn 1 extra card that potentially would win him the game. K-Grip. Tireless Tracker, okay. Another Parallax Wave, not doing anything. Definitely don't want that. Probably don't want that. So do I just play Enchantress Presence? He can't stack the clue token, so he does get this up to a 4/3. So I could also cast out a Tireless Tracker. Then he takes 1 damage. I think that's a line I have to take. Here he has to block the cast out. He could have Punishing Fire and kill my cast out and then untap and win. Because he gets back his Molten Vortex. Man, the cast outs have really been great here. Just by accident, just by being a 4/4s. That exile anything. Draws a card. Does he have anything that wins him the game here? I don't think so. Yes, I can't cast both of these, so I put them back. He could cross and grip my Opalescence, and I don't get any attackers here. And then I won't have anything until I find another white source, which could take forever. You think he boarded out his Glacial Chasm. Actually, I completely forgot about Glacial Chasm. Because with Life from the Loam, he might be able to just infinitely get it back. Actually, no, he needs to sacrifice land each time, so he would need Exploration as well. We'll see if he has Glacial. Yeah, but he didn't know which kind of Enchantress we were on, because he usually played against me with like Rest in Peace, Helm of Obedience. He plays Dark Depths, sure. Yeah, the surprise factor on this deck is very big. Him having Glacial Chasm would definitely have bought him a lot of time. Then I would have needed to... Okay, we lost... At least we lost a game. That's we're no longer completely undefeated. And we won 2 games on the back of a single forest and simple library in opening hand with a scry, so we were definitely kind of lucky there as well. But yeah, that's it. That's the reason playing something like this over Dead Guy Ale in Legacy is probably smarter, because Dead Guy Ale is very fair and it doesn't have any really broken cards, and this is like full of broken cards, so, in a way, like not the usual Legacy broken cards, but still, these interactions are very strong. Like Helm of Obedience in the sideboard just wins you games for free, and of course you also have losses that Dead Guy Ale wouldn't have, because of like inconsistency and having a really strange mana curve. But at least this deck is doing something that nothing else is doing. Well, like a deck like Dead Guy Ale, you're basically being a worse blue creature deck on average. I mean, or less consistent. So if you do something in Legacy, it's often a smart choice to do something broken that nobody else is doing, and or maybe somebody else is doing, but just that, sure. I mean, sometimes they can deal with it, but if they can't, yeah, you just get to win the game because they're not prepared. And a deck like Dead Guy Ale, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on Dead Guy Ale because I love playing it, but decks like Dead Guy Ale, everybody's always going to be prepared to deal with like a fair creature deck that plays Thoughtseizes, maybe Hymn to Turak and some Stoneforge Mystic. And everybody has creature removal or just has a strategy like Storm that doesn't care about most of these creatures, like Stoneforge or Dark Confident. So we're off to a perfect start. 2 more rounds to go, and definitely already cashed this league. That's a positive beginning of my day. So there are going to be some treasure chests to be cracked. Fourth round of the day against Zitz. I think I played against this person before, but maybe not with this deck. Yeah, I don't remember what he was on, but I don't care, I want to play first anyway. So we go basic into Sprawl, turn 2 Fertile Ground, turn 3 Parallax Wave, turn 4 Starfield of Nyx. Might be slow against some decks in the format, or like might be weak to Hymn to Turak, but ramp into expensive stuff that lets us combo. It's usually what we want to be doing. Like, unless you know you're playing against Storm, you don't want to mulligan a hand like this ever. I'm gonna put this on white, because if the Caracas gets wasted, then at least with Fertile Ground and Utopia Sprawl we get to make double white for the Parallax Wave. Savannah into Deathrite. They might have Gadok Teeg, so I'm gonna lead on Bayou just so I don't have my Caracas wasted. Okay, did have the Wasteland. I think they're probably some kind of Maverick. Or Thalia. Basically the same. So I probably bounce the Thalia. Like I could pay 4 for an Enchantress Presence, but that's basically the same as bouncing their Thalia and then casting it for 3, and it means they have to spend their next turn replaying Thalia. Oh, but we would need to draw land, and then we can, before we can cast the Parallax Wave. Oh, they're gonna waste us. Now we need Serra's Sanctum, or we might get kind of behind against this Thalia. Abrupt Decay. Ooh, Serra's Sanctum. Thank you, deck. My deck is very nice to me today. We're gonna exile there. I'm playing this now. I could like play Starfield of Nyx or something, but to get like my Enchantress presence back and such. But taking their Deathrite leaves them with a single land, so they can't both waste me and replay their Thalia. Oh, they are blue. I'm not entirely sure what to make of this, but question here is, do we care about Thalia enough to exile it? Let's see, let's fetch a, I don't know, basic planes, I guess. I think we can just cast a Starfield here. We don't care about Thalia then. And we need to control 5 or more enchantments. So we need to wait until our next turn to reanimate our Enchantress presence before the Starfield is active, like before it becomes an Opalescence. I'm gonna take 2 damage here. I don't care enough about the Thalia, and yeah. They're scavenging Oasis 1 turn too late. They can't exile anything in response anymore. No, let's start. Actually, yeah. I should maybe have attacked first, because now I don't get to attack. That's probably a mistake. I mean, it doesn't matter if we just win the game on the spot. Okay, the postman is here. So I need to go down again, sorry for the interruption. Hello? Yeah. Okay, lots of interruptions today, but yeah, I got my last 2 civil libraries in the post today, so that's worth taking a short break for. I guess I'm not playing out civil library yet here, because it could get wastelanded, even though I don't really care. I'm not entirely sure what they are. They could be banned. In which case it could have something... They could have either Meddling Mage or Pithing Needles. Definitely don't want a lot of stuff against them, but... either Sworn Canonists, that doesn't do a whole lot against us. But if they have hate against us, it's probably gonna be in the form of enchantments or artifacts. But I also have cast out an Oblivion Ring to deal with them, so I think I don't cite anything here. So let's see. Yeah, like I have this whole deck white bordered, except I didn't have four old school silver libraries yet. I decided to buy myself 4 Legends silver libraries. Like this one. This is a mulligan, only has 1 land and it can get wastelanded. Yeah, this is a lot better. They could also just be Maverick splashing for Leovold or things like that. So Silver Library could be less great than I thought. Do we need this? I think we don't actually need Enchantress Presence if we have Silver Library. And we already have Parallax Wave and Opalescence as well. Drew another one. Thank you, Magic Online. Gonna put this on white. In case we draw like a basic forest, then we still get to have double white up. Is he gonna Abrupt Decay this? Oh, Canonist. Yeah, Canonist doesn't do enough against this deck in general, so I'm not too afraid of it. If they untap Anthalia, I probably wouldn't have played Utopia Sprawl here. Otherwise, Silver Library seems like good in general as well. I think I'm just sprawling, like it guarantees me to hit a mana, like Silver Library doesn't. They're less likely to decay a Utopia Sprawl than to decay a Silver Library as well. So this is less likely to meet Disruption. Let's see, my second library, or rather my fourth. Yeah, and if they play Leovold here, the library would also have kind of sucked. Oh, Gasali Pride Mage. Unfortunately, they're 1 turn too slow. And I shall already have Parallax Wave to just exile it. They already played land, so I can safely fetch my basic planes here and just get some F6 value. I need to exile a Kasali. I probably don't care about Aethersworn Canonists because it will limit the amount of spells they can play themselves. Like they can't go Deathrite Thalia or ponder into something if they play cantrips. Mother of Runes. Unfortunately for them, that's not good enough. Sarah Sanctum, sure. I'll play my Opalescence. Probably want to keep as much green left over as possible, so... because I want to play 2 green spells here. Or do I attack first? No, I need to exile stuff because I have mana floating. So I exile that, and exile itself. Oh yeah, I've completely forgot about that. That was kind of silly maybe. Let's see, they're trying to destroy my Opalescence. I think I need to flicker this again in response, just because otherwise maybe the one exiling itself will fizzle, because it will no longer be a creature, and then I won't have permanently exiled their stuff. This seems better. Anyway, I was unpacking my last Sylvan library. That's just some filler cards. Waste my thing, sure. Knight of the Reliquary, sure. Okay, that's my last Sylvan library of the day. Maybe I could have played the Sylvan library first, because of drawing more lands is always good. I mean, being able to draw multiple things here is maybe better. And we're exiling the knight here just so he can't tutor up some nasty shit. Okay, opponent decides to deal themselves 2 damage. Oh wait, this is great. I need to put a stop in my draw step. And I might... be able to like do some tricks with shuffling in between my 2 Sylvan libraries. So yes, I use this. Do I really need any of these? Yeah, I put back the wild growth, I pay for life for this, then I fetch and I get to see 1 additional card. Seems like a sweet trick. Actually, I can even put back the Opalescence and the wild growth and draw it off the Krufix Insight. I think that's what I want to do. So let's see, Krufix Insight, get all my stuff. They could theoretically surgical me here and make me shuffle my library, but yeah, that would have sucked. Do I want to cast anything else here? No, I think I'm starting with the Opalescence and see what we draw over there. I have 2 more green. I guess Enchantress presence into something. I might not have chosen the optimal routes Like I can definitely imagine there being. Oh, we got another Opalescence, another Parallax Wave. I could potentially have drawn like one or two more cards by playing out the Enchantress presence first. But I think in this position it doesn't matter whether we have 6 or 7 cards in hand. Okay, another perfect one. What was this even? Like Maverick? I classify it as other. So, let's see whether it's possible to make the 5-0 finally happen. I think I'm taking this deck to a paper tournament this weekend. Like maybe change 1 or 2 cards, but I think I'm going to take this instead of blue-green Enchantress. Let's see what treasure chests are worth these days. Huh. Okay, they're still pretty high. Last one of the day. Or of the league. Maybe I play some more later today. Responsible Joseph. One that I would like to play first, yes. A very keepable hand. I think it was usually on like fair Grixis-like decks. Maybe like 4-color or Grixis or stuff like that. And again, to play around Wasteland, I think I want to sprawl on white here. I'm gonna play Civil Library here, because that plays around Days with the Serra Sanctum up. And he might still be on Delver. Like, my playing history against him does seem to indicate otherwise, but... don't need more forests, don't need a second Opalescence yet. I think I play Enchantress Presence first. First of all, it doesn't give him a clue that we're on a very special version. And by playing Opalescence I get to attack for 2 and then next turn still for 2. But while if I play this next turn I attack for 5, so I actually win 1 damage by next turn. And I get to draw more cards, which is always nice. He forces this, okay. Pitching Daze, so he's on a Daze deck. That's good for us, because Daze means he's less likely... It means he's less likely to have Leovolts. mean, there are definitely some Days Leovolds decks out there, but so you still put back the second Opalescence. This is on white, so can I both Oblivion Ring this and play Opalescence? Let's see, play Opalescence, no, play Oblivion Ring, have 3 enchantments in play. Yeah, Forests, Oblivion Ring, or Serra Sanctum Oblivion Ring should do it. I'm not under pressure, so I think I'm gonna pay here. Like, even if he plays a Leovold, at least I'm 1 card deeper in my deck. Next turn, if the Opalescence gets countered, I can play another one or replenish. Like, lots of options there. This shuts him off like some... he stifles it, okay. Clearly cares about his death right. He could bolt our Sylvan Library, but we can always replenish it if we really care. Okay, we have Parallax Wave. I want Parallax Wave with replenish up in case he has a counterspell for it. So we put that one back, but do we put back the Wild Growth? Or do we need it to make more mana of Serra Sanctums? 2, 3, 4... Let's see, I need to tap the Serra Sanctum to play the Parallax Wave. Because this doesn't make 2 white mana. Or I need to just play my second Serra Sanctum. So I tap this for 4, play the Parallax Wave, and I still have replenish up, but not around days, unless I play my second one. Still not under pressure, so I think I'm still just gonna pay for it and dig a card deeper in my deck. So let's Parallax Wave, and we can still replenish around the days, even without my playing out the second Serra Sanctum. The question is, do I still replenish here? It just gets me back. I can replenish of the Serra Sanctum. I think. Do I attack first? It's a mistake because this can't attack anyway. So I think I just exile his creatures here, so he can't double block my Sylvan Library for some reason. Exile land, sure. For blue, sure. Thought score target himself, sure. He could stifle the Parallax Wave return trigger, which would be annoying. With annoying, I mean, yeah, that would really suck. Okay, Grixis Delver, but with Thought Score, so probably they play more Gurmag Anglers. Don't think this means we want Leyline of Sanctity. I think we just want to run the same cards again. I mean, I didn't see any Delvers, but I'm gonna assume it's Grixis Delver. Responsible Joseph 12. This is probably too slow, right? If this had been a 1 mana ramp spell, but even then, like replenish without anything to replenish for. This is more tricky. I think I'm gonna keep and try to scry to a basic forest. So as soon as we get this onto a basic forest, it should be fine. Which we did not. Okay, I get to cycle cast out. That's like one more go at a thing, like a forest. Does this take lands? Oh, that's creature or enchantment. Okay, never mind. So I want to cycle this here. If they stifle this, at least they won't stifle the fetch land we draw next turn. So we will be able... Huh. This is tricky. This is very weak to wasteland if we sprawl that. So I think I'm just going to commune with the gods potentially. Because at least we can commune around a daze here. See, we get to keep one, probably one Sylvan Library. He could surgical our Opalescence here by putting it in the graveyard. I think he's not unlikely to board in stuff like surgical. Although he did not see the replenish yet, so he doesn't know that how much we use the graveyard. But still, against the deck that looks a bit combo-ish, a lot of people board in random surgicals. If this Sylvan Library gets dazed, we're probably screwed. Or spell pierced. Yep. You need to draw a basic forest or fetch land that doesn't get stifled into basic forest like now. Nope. Yeah, there was a risk of keeping a hand without the forest. Leovold would suck. Another Gurmag. So we're dead in 2 turns. Do we have anything that beats that? Probably not. Like even a bolt would be lethal. Like would take 2, 5 and 15. Nope. Did not find it. Do I actually want Ley Lines and Helm of Obedience here? They are kind of big on their graveyard, right? But what do I cut? And it also adds another angle of attack. It's a tricky one. Like, do I really care about the cast out stuff? Yeah, I definitely want to keep those in. Though even Doomwake Giant, they don't seem to be playing young Pyromancer or true names. So I could just try to go for a cheap win. Yeah, I think I'll I just want to try it out. It might not work, but... Like to play first, yes. Ooh, this hand is very good. It has the potential to, yeah, it has a turn 2 Sylvan Library around days, not around Cable Therapy. And Cable Therapy would really Probe Therapy, because yeah, they won't blind name library. Like Probe Therapy, take our library, we probably lose, but otherwise we are very likely to hit. Oh yeah, he could also still Surgical in our draw step and take the 2 other ones. So you're very likely to be able to dig towards Helm of Obedience here. But we might slow roll the Helm until we played something else they want to counter, like play something more important first. They don't have a second land, so they're basically mana screwed. And Brainstorm locked. Very good for us. Serra's Sanctum. Do you want to expose it to Wasteland? Maybe they have a Wasteland, but they wanted to hide it. And Replenish doesn't really do anything here, so I'm just gonna fetch here for another basic, so we don't get stifled, and play out my Sylvan Library, so we can like draw deeper. If we take extra cards of the first one, we get to dig a little bit deeper with the second one. And we only have 2 cards in hand, my opponent has 8. Which is another reason to start, like we're not under pressure, but we're very low on cards. So that's a good reason to start digging for more action. I think I put, actually it doesn't matter which one I put back, I just pay for life and the next one will still let me put these 2 back. The Sylvan Library said like it lets you put back any cards drawn this turn, so I can still choose to put these 2 back if I would so choose. So I could play Enchantress Presence into Wild Growth, but then if it gets countered I don't draw my Crewfix Insight. I could also put back, no, don't put back the Wild Growth, do I? I could also just pay another 4 here, play Enchantress Presence, then play Wild Growth, and if the Enchantress Presence gets countered, I still get the Crewfix Insight. I think I like that line. Or I could not pay life, because it is, actually they can't play Angler, so their biggest way of putting me under pressure is gone. I think that's the line I'm taking. If they force, yeah, okay, so we're getting forced. Now we are a bit under the risk of milling our Helm here. Did not. So we get to take Opalescence, Parallax Wave, and Utopia Sprawl. And I'm gonna sprawl on white here to be less likely to be wastelanded out of the game. Okay, they did have Wasteland, or they drew it. I think I just fetch here, hope they don't stifle me. And then keeping Utopia Sprawl means if they stifle me, I still get to put something else on white, but I think I still put it on top. Like, I don't want to go down to 7 against a deck that has bolts, and because Deathrite will put me, it will exile 2 Crufix Insights, so it will put me down to, it will deal 4 damage. I will go down to 7. If I pay 4 here, I go down to 3, and they could just bolt me next turn. Although, actually, if they do stifle me here, they do not drain me with Deathrite for a turn. But that's not a lot of consolation. They are thinking about something. Take the planes, don't want to get wastelanded again. Spell Pierce would be annoying. And we exile the Deathrite. Just so we don't take 2 damage next turn. And also Deathrite could exile a land of ours to give them more mana, for example. Yeah, they could untap with 3 mana, for example. Yes, I want to use it. Put back. So we have double Opalescence here. Do I want Opalescence or Crufix? Probably just the double Opalescence. It is a bit weaker against him playing a discard spell next turn. Attack with all creatures. Let's see, his opponent dead here. He takes 12 damage, so he's not literally dead. He could even bolt myself a library. Edict. Sure, I can sacrifice a library. Play a Delver, sure. They could block one thing. Because if I Parallax Wave here, they could stifle the return trigger, but they still take 6 damage. And I get to play another Opalescence. Ooh, wow, crazy. Got to print screen this. Whoa, okay. So it is possible to 5-0 with this beautiful deck. Whew. Okay, that was stressing in a way. Like, if there is more on the line, then it's more stressful because there is more to lose. Okay, I'm probably not opening all of these chests just because it's could be wastes of money, but I definitely want to open a few of them. Scorpion God. It's a masterpiece, so it's probably worth something. This Ogle battle driver, that's probably something nobody cares about. 10 play points, mediocre. What the hell is this Kuro Pitlord? Never heard of that. Rakdos something. Ooh, Lotus Petal. That's probably better than the mythic there. Or the rare. I think Dissension only has rares. 30 play points is quite good. Ooh, nah. Probably not. It's a fun card. Probably not worth a lot, but it's decent. Yeah, I might just open all of them if I feel like it. I'm basically looking because my number of play points ends on a 5, so I can't use them for leagues, all of them. So I probably want to open. Oh, that's nice. That's another invention. No, not invention. Expedition. I probably want to open chests until the last number here is a 0. Sweltering Suns. Oh yeah, that's a standard card. I wanted to try it in Punishing TT sometime, but I don't have it in paper yet. Ooh, Exhume is nice. Storm Herd. That looks kind of janky. Second last one. Ooh, Sunken Ruins. That's, at least in paper, it's quite rare and valuable. So it might be a Magic Online as well. Ooh, Dark Depths. I'm gonna check that one. That looks like the big hit. Let's see, Dark Depths is worth. Oh yeah, it's almost $14. That's definitely a good hit. So I'm gonna finish the recording here. I hope you all had fun watching this crazy deck, and I hope you didn't mind too much that I had to interruptions by delivery man. So I'll be playing this in the weekend, which means I'll probably be playing it, practicing it a bit more on Magic Online the next few days. So if you like watching this deck, there will be more videos in the near future. Okay, have a good day.